All right, hey guys. So we are in the middle of a pandemic. A lot of schools have shut down, a lot of businesses are closing, and just total lockdowns everywhere trying to escape from the coronavirus. But that means we get to stay at home, we get to play games, and we get to buy some bundles. So Humble Bundle just launched their Capcom Mega Bundle. I think it's pretty fantastic. A lot of Resident Evil games, a lot of Mega Man games. Before I get into that, though, I do want to mention that Goat of Duty is currently free on Steam. I don't know how long it's going to be free for, but I'll have a link in the description below. Just go to the Steam page, add it to your account, and then you'll be able to keep it forever. This is kind of a comical play on Call of Duty. It's an arena shooter where you get to basically play as goats, and it's pretty ridiculous, but it's pretty fun, especially with friends. And then also for the next day or two, a Nuclear Throne is 90% off, so it's only like $1.20. Very, very cheap, and I highly recommend picking this one up for just $1. It's a fantastic roguelike top-down shooter full of crazy weapons. It's very fast-paced, challenging, extremely addictive, and like I said, definitely worth $1. So going back to the Humble Capcom bundle, this one is a little bit pricey. The third tier is $20, but you are getting some pretty amazing games. And before you decide to pick up the bundle, I always just mention this. If you want to use my referral link before purchasing it, you can actually send your money to me. So why not? Because obviously I'm selling you guys the bundle. All of these games are coming directly from me, right? So I'm just playing, but I definitely appreciate any of you who decide to donate to this channel using my referral links. You can scroll down to the bottom and just choose where your money goes. I recommend giving quite a bit to charity and maybe to developers and maybe a little Humble Bundle, but mostly to me. So let's go back up and let's go through these games. So first up we have Strider. This is a side-scrolling action platformer with some very fast-paced combat, and overall just a very well-polished game, some great gameplay, and it's certainly worth $1. So I recommend everyone pick up the first tier just for Strider. The second game is Megaman Legacy Collection. This is full of some old classic Mega Man games that bring back a lot of nostalgia towards the original fans of the series. And then the third game here is Resident Evil Revelations 2 Episode 1. So this is of course a fantastic horror survival game. All the Resident Evil games are known for being like amazing zombie survival games. Unfortunately, Revelations 2 was released in chunks. It's an episodic game, so that means you're buying each DLC or each like expansion separately, and then it becomes super expensive to purchase the whole game. Fortunately, in this bundle, you can get the full game if you decide to purchase the second tier, and the second tier currently is $11. So again, it is a bit pricey, but you get a lot of other games, so it might be worth it to you. And of course, episode 1 is just like to try out the game. You also get some DLC for Resident Evil 2. Most of you probably don't own it, but I own the game, so it's kind of nice to see some free DLC there. In the second tier, you also get 50% off Resident Evil 2. I think that brings the game down to maybe like, I don't know, like $15, $10. I didn't really check how much the game was. You also get 50% off Devil May Cry 5, so that brings the game down to like $15 as well. But the second tier is $11, and you're getting 3 games here along with the full version of Revelations 2. So we have Mega Man X Legacy Collection. This is just more fantastic Mega Man games, and these ones in particular I found to be a crazy amount of fun, especially playing these growing up. I found these to be a little bit more enjoyable than the super retro ones. Unfortunately, this version, like the Steam version, doesn't really run very well on most systems, which causes some issues, some glitches, and it's very slow sometimes, kind of sluggish. I recommend if you have problems with the game, you can try using an emulator, but otherwise, I really enjoyed playing these games on consoles. And then we have Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil Revelations. These are just more great zombie survival shooters. If you enjoy horror games, I highly recommend trying at least one of these games out. There's lots of content, and the stories and characters are a little bit corny, but the gameplay, in my opinion, is rock solid. Love the gameplay, like it's absolutely fantastic. In terms of horror games, I really enjoy Resident Evil and Dead Space. Those are my 2 favorites, and they kind of share the same style of gameplay, and I just really enjoy both. And it really gets your heart racing at times. So for the second tier, if you like Resident Evil games, I would recommend picking up the second tier, or if you're just wanting one of these coupons here. So the third tier is $20, and again, if you buy the third tier, you're getting all the other games as well. So While this bundle is kind of expensive each tier, there is some great games here. You're getting Mega Man 11. This is the newest Mega Man game that came out in 2018. It has a fresh new style while keeping all of the charm of the original games. It's great to see Capcom sticking to the core mechanics that made people fall in love with the series to begin with. If you're not familiar with Mega Man, I recommend starting with this game. I think it's truly fantastic, especially as an action platformer. Next we have Street Fighter, the 30th Anniversary Collection. It includes the classic Street Fighter games that I'm sure most of you have played in arcades at some point in your life, so you probably know what to expect with that one. Then there's Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. This was a very expensive game. It's an open world RPG with a rewarding action combat experience. You embark on a pretty epic adventure. It has rich story with some great characters, gameplay, and some intense boss fights as well. If you're into RPGs, I definitely recommend Dragon's Dogma. Then there's Devil May Cry 4, the special edition. This is what I would call an arcade style hack and slash action game. I remember watching my cousin play this all the time when I was younger, and while I can't make a whole lot of sense of the story, like the story in all the Devil May Cry games, I really don't understand it, but the gameplay is super enjoyable and it makes you feel like a total badass. I actually started playing Devil May Cry 5 recently, and again in the second tier you get a 50% off discount for it, but I started playing it and I really have a great time. It's super enjoyable and the combat is just absolutely insane. And then you get Resident Evil HD Remaster. This is the remaster of the original Resident Evil game, so more great survival horror, and there's plenty of content and plenty to love there. And then finally you're getting Dead Rising 4. So I'm sure everyone has heard of Dead Rising. It's more of a fun-filled, delightful zombie game about just having fun, killing hordes of zombies in absolutely ridiculous ways. A lot of people felt like Dead Rising 4 was a bit of a disappointment though. It has a lot of glitches and it felt like it was more dumbed down from the original games and just didn't have like all the features that the original games had. Although getting it at a much cheaper price in this bundle probably makes it worthwhile, so it's kind of cool that they added that one on as well, even if it does have mixed reviews. That's it for this bundle. I would definitely recommend it for those of you who like zombie survival horror games, or if you like the Mega Man series. Definitely worthwhile. Otherwise it's kind of expensive, especially $20 for a bundle. It's a bit pricey for sure, but if you are planning on getting it, I definitely recommend using my referral link. I highly appreciate it, and I thank you to anyone who has used it in the past. It doesn't cost you anything, and you're giving to a fantastic cause. You also get a 10% off Humble Choice reward as a bonus for buying the bundle. So if you haven't purchased the Humble Choice, you can get 10% off, which is kind of cool, and you can check out the Humble Choice games. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this bundle. Let me know what you guys think of it, if you think it's worthwhile or not. The first tier for $1, that's definitely worth it. Also pick up Nuclear Throne for $1 and pick up Code of Duty for free. So if you don't have a whole lot of money, you can always get games for super cheap. You just can't be picky. Gotta just get what they offer. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Don't get the coronavirus, and have a great day.